Joining us now is Congresswoman Maxine Waters of California, former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. She was at that event on Saturday when President Obama told the caucus to, quote, stop complaining and to put your marching shoes on. Good to have you with us. First of all, what was your reaction to that when he said stop complaining, stop grumbling, stop crying?
Well, I'm not sure exactly who the president was talking to. As you know, the Congressional Black Caucus has been out in 5 cities where we held town hall meetings and jobs fairs addressing this 16.7 unemployment that's real, that translates in some areas to 30–40% unemployment, and with black youth, 50% unemployment. So I'm not sure who the president was addressing. I found that language a bit curious because the president spoke to the Hispanic caucus, and certainly they're pushing him on immigration. And despite the fact that he's appointed Sotomayor to the Supreme Court, he has an office for excellence in Hispanic education right in the White House. They're still pushing him. He certainly didn't tell them to stop complaining, and he would never say that to the gay and lesbian community who really pushed him on don't ask, don't tell, or even in a speech to AIPAC, he would never say to the Jewish community, stop complaining about Israel. So I don't know who he was talking to, because we're certainly not complaining.
Okay.
We're working. We support him, and we're protecting that base because we want people to be enthusiastic about him when that election rolls around.
In terms of enthusiasm, it sounds like, if I'm reading between the lines here, Congresswoman, that you think maybe he may not have chosen the best language to get people enthusiastic. But I want to take you back to one of those moments that you had last month. You were speaking in Detroit, and you said to the folks there, I'm looking for your permission to, quote, unleash, to have a conversation with the president. It would sound like that you feel maybe he hasn't heard what's gone on with some of those events that you held. So what is that conversation you want to have, and have you had it?
Well, as you know, if you listen to that particular part of the town hall meeting, there were a lot of complaints, a lot of shouting from the audience about what they wanted us to do, what they wanted the president to do. And basically I said, are you ready for this conversation? And if you are, unleash us. And of course, they yelled, you are unleashed, because the conversation must be about, first of all, I recognize that there's pain and desperation in the African-American community. The unemployment rates are just unacceptable. People want jobs. They want to work. When we had these jobs fairs, they stood in line by the thousands, circling the blocks to get a chance to talk to employers. In Los Angeles, 10,000 people showed up.
Let me ask you quickly.
So they want to know that we recognize, and the president recognized, the pain that's in the African-American community.
Congresswoman, we only have about 30 seconds, so just real quickly, if you could.
Sure.
Do you think then the president heard that, to go back to it, based on his comments that you heard Saturday night? And if not, do you think he's taking African-Americans for granted, especially as we move to campaign season?
He certainly heard us. That speech that he did to the Congressional Black Caucus included the words black and African-American for the first time. And yes, he's energized. We helped him to get energized so he could deal with the concerns of the black community. I think he heard us. Some of his words were not, I think, appropriate and surprised me a little bit. I was curious about him, but he certainly heard us.
All right, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.